Setting. The play is set in 1904 in the Hill District of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, in the parlor of Eli and Esther and Black Mary's home at 1839 Wiley Avenue. Prologue. The lights come up in Eli in the kitchen. It's late at night. He's preparing to retire. He draws the shade and is preparing to put out the light when there's a knock at the door. The knock grows insistent. Eli finally goes and answers the door. Citizen Barlow enters. He is agitated.
This is a peaceful house.
I come to see Aunt Esther.
You gotta come back Tuesday.
What do you mean?
She don't see nobody until Tuesday.
What do you mean come back? The people say go see Aunt Esther. This is 1839 Wiley, ain't it?
Come back Tuesday.
Eli starts to close the door, but Citizen pushes his way in.
You've got to come back Tuesday.
Citizen tries to go around Eli, who grabs him and shoves him towards the door. They knock over a lamp, and Citizen's hat falls off as Eli tussles with him. Aunt Esther enters from her room. Her presence has an immediate calming effect on Citizen. Aunt Esther picks up Citizen's hat, brushes it off, and hands it to him.
Didn't he say come back Tuesday? Go on, I'll see you on Tuesday.
Citizen takes his hat and goes out the door. Aunt Esther turns around and goes back into her room, and the lights go down on the scene. Act 1, Scene 1. Lights come up on Eli and Black Mary in the kitchen. They have just finished breakfast. Eli stands at the window looking out.
He's still standing there. He's been standing there ever since he left out of here yesterday. Aunt Esther told him that she'd have to see him on Tuesday. He went out and stood across the street there. I don't know what he wanted to see her about. He went right out here, stood across the street. If he goes anywhere, he just come right back. He's been up there every time I looked up there.
Well, who is he?
He didn't say. He just said he wanted to see Aunt Esther. He looked like he just come up here. He's still wearing them clog hoppers.
Well, if you've been standing over there, you must not have nowhere to go.
Well, he can go somewhere and sit down. Today is Saturday. Tuesday's a long way to go. Unless he's going to sleep standing up.
You know he waiting to see if Aunt Esther come out.
He's going to have a long wait. I ain't known her to leave this house in the past 20 years.
Yeah, he probably go down under the Brady Street Bridge to sleep. You know, they got a whole bunch of people sleeping down there.
Yeah, they're going to get some more. The way Caesar keep evicting people. He put out 2 families yesterday. He's charging them by the week. Then if they get 1 week behind, he put them out. He don't ask no question. He just gathers up that little bit of stuff and send it out on the street. Then he arrests them for being out there. Oh, man. What Aunt Esther say?
Well, she say no. I asked if she wanted to get up, she say no. I asked if she was sick, she say no.
You know what's going on 4 days? I ain't never known her to sleep that long. As long as I don't know her.
Well, I asked her if she wants something to eat, she say no.
There's a knock at the door. Eli goes to answer it. Rutherford SELIG enters. He's carrying a frying pan and a can of kerosene.
Hey, Seeley, come on in.
Hey, Eli, here's your kerosene. I got your rocks in the wagon. Say, Black Mary, I got you that frying pan.
Black Mary takes the frying pan and looks at it.
Now, that's good iron. You can't get iron like that every day. That's high-grade iron. Bottom's nice and flat.
Well, how much you gonna charge me? You know I paid too much for that coffee pot.
I'll let you have it for $2. Now, that's a $3 frying pan. For you, it's $2. Now, we'll charge 50 cents more, but that's my last one like that, and I'd be glad to get rid of it, making the water. You want the 14-inch? I'll have that next week.
I don't know, I paid too much for that coffee pot. I don't want to have to pay too much for this frying pan.
Well, what about dustpans? I'll let you have a dustpan with it for $2.25. I'll tell you what. Make it the $2, I'll just give you the dustpan.
Black Mary gives him $2.
Say, Eli, I come from upriver. I see where they got the mill shut down.
Yeah. They had a man named Garrett Brown who jumped in the river. Caesar chased him, and he jumped in and wouldn't come out. They say he stole a bucket of nails. He said he didn't. They're having a funeral today.
Well, I seen the people standing around down at the church. They had a bunch of people standing around down there, and I was wondering what they were standing around there for.
They're going to bury him this afternoon. They're going to bury him over there at Reverend Tolliver's church. They were supposed to bury him yesterday out at Reverend Flowers' church, but Caesar stopped them. He went over there to Reverend Flowers and told him it was against the law, the Christian law. Man ain't been in a church in 30 years talking about the Christian law. Caesar's just mad because he didn't get a chance at him.
Well, he could have come out of the water.
They couldn't get him to come out. Caesar told him he wasn't going to arrest him. Told him he would give him a bowl of soup and some dry clothes. He told Caesar to go to hell. Told his whole family to go to hell. He talking about you too, Black Mary.
Now, you can't stay in there but so long. That cold will get to you. Shut your body down.
He's just a treading water, holding on to the barge. Caesar see he ain't going to come out, and he tries to beat him over here with a 2x4, talking about he wasn't going to do nothing to him. I believe he would have killed him right on the spot if he had came out.
Oh, he wouldn't have done nothing but arrested him, and the judge would have gave him 30 days.
Yeah, well, as it is, he's dead.
Well, if he jumped in the river and didn't come out, I'd have to believe he didn't do it. They had a man down in Kentucky accused of stealing a horse. He said he didn't do it. Turned him into an outlaw. Well, made him the biggest horse thief in Kentucky. He lived to steal horses. Well, he must have sold 500 horses, and every one he sent back word, well, I stole that one, but I didn't steal the first one. I stole that one, but I did not steal the first one. Well, they never did catch him. He died and the horse thieving stopped. My dad told me about it.
There's a knock on the door. Eli goes to answer it. Salah enters singing, I belong to the band. He is 67 years old. He wears a long coat and a battered hat and carries a basket and a stick.
I belong to the band. I belong to the band. I belong to the railroad band. Talking about that railroad band.
Hey, Salah, come on in.
Hey, the people say they ain't going back to work down at the mill. They lined up all for the funeral down at the church. They lined up around the block. Look like every D1 in Pittsburgh down there.
Yeah, Reverend Tyler gonna get rich. The people appreciate him for opening up his church.
Oh, why don't you leave that basket outside? I told you to leave it out there.
I'm afraid somebody gonna run off with it.
Who's gonna steal a basket of dog shit?
It's pure. It's called pure. They got pure collectors all over the world. People been collecting pure for 400 years.
Well, I don't care what it's called, who wanna steal it.
Anybody would steal it. Look here. Look. See this here? Where you think that come from? It come from this here basket. This basket of pure. People will kill people over money. You know, if they kill somebody over money, they'll steal anything that ain't nailed down.
Talking about somebody stealing some dog shit.
A lot of people get confused by this here pure. They don't know that shoemakers use it to work leather. Yeah, I had an old gal down there, she told me one time, said, get on away from around me, you smell like dog shit. But I showed her them that $2 that I got from Burrito, and she told me, said, come on over my house and I'll take care of you. Cooked me up a whole pan of cornbread, yes she did. I went on back there and she was gone. I don't know what happened to her.
There is a lot of them like that. Well, you don't know what happened with them?
Well, I do have me a special rider though. She up there on Webster Street. I'd marry if I wasn't in love with somebody else.
And then we're here, see, like I bet you a loaf of bread.
Well, I thank you, Black Mary. That way I won't have to stop by Caesar's bakery. I got to get on. I'll unload them rocks out back.
All right, thank you, Sealy. Thank you very much.
If you need any more rocks, you let me know. Now, I can't get you some cobblestone.
No. I like the rocks.
Hey, Sealy. See, you got a new horse.
Oh, man, ain't she a beauty? Name's Salah. Well, I got her from Jacob Hurley. He's going up north, New York to go on business with his brother.
Yeah, that's a nice horse, all right.
Well, I ain't had a speck of trouble out of her since I had her. I said, get up, and she go. Whoa, won't she stop? Well, I feed her some oats, and she carry me wherever I want to go. If everything go right, I'm going to get me a new wagon. Well, see you next time, Black Mary. Tell on Esther I asked after her.
I will do. Take care of yourself, Seal it.
All right. Hey, look, come on, help me build this wall.
Where you building the wall at?
Out back, I'm going to take and build me a wall around this side up there.
You can get you some wood and build you a fence.
I want a wall.
Well, I'll help you. When you gonna start?
Anytime you ready. I mean, we can start tomorrow.
All right.
I want a wall. See if I can keep Caesar on the other side. The way he's going to have everybody in jail.
Caesar's just doing his job. That's what the people can't see.
Caesar's the kind of people I'd want working for me. If I ever get me a plantation, I'm gonna hire him to keep my niggas in line. Hey, I got a letter from my sister. Hey, Black Mary, can you read this for me?
Let's see. Dear Solomon, I'm writing you to let you know the times are terrible here. The most anybody remembers since bondage. The people are having a hard time with freedom. I can't hold on here anymore. The white people has gone crazy and won't let anybody leave. They beat one fellow on the road so bad his mama say, who is he? They killed some more and say the color can't buy any tickets on the train to get away. Say they will sink the ferry if any colored on it. I want to leave to come north, but it is too bad. It is hard time for everybody. Write, let me know what to do as I try to hold on but cannot.
I gotta go back down there.
Your loving sister, Eliza Jackson.
I would go with you, but I got to stay here and take care of Aunt Esther.
But I gotta go down there and get my sister. I'm gonna see if Jefferson Culpepper wanna go with me.
I'm surprised Jefferson Culpepper can walk old as he is. You talking about 800 miles. 800 miles one way is 800 miles coming back. He needs to go and find him a rocking chair somewhere.
I believe I can make it down there if I don't get sleepy. I get sleepy sometime and don't know if I get it all mixed up. And if it's really night, even though it look like daytime. A lot of things can fool you like that. A lot of things shine like gold ain't gold. A lot of brass shine like that. Shine like gold.
What you doing making all that noise out here? I smell pig feet. Black Mary, put me on a pot of tea. Eli, see if you can get that stove in there to work. I don't know what it is. I feel cold all the time.
You ain't getting sick, is you?
I ain't said I was sick. I'm just cold. I don't know what it is.
I bought you some pure.
Black Mary, see what he got there.
I got a little bit of everything. I got some 30-day and I got some 60-day.
See what it look like, Black Mary.
Black Mary takes one of the bags and opens it and looks inside.
You can't tell nothing by looking at it. Bring it here. How you gonna be scared of dog shit? That's all it is.
I didn't say I was scared of it.
Bring it here.
Black Mary takes her the bag, and Aunt Esther breaks open a piece of pure and empties it into her hand.
Look at that. God made that. Ain't nothing in God's creation that ain't good. See, he ain't been eating nothing but bone. Give me some of this, Sally. What else you got?
Well, there's a Great Dane up on Arsena Street. I've been trying to get some of that, but he don't never let him out. Great big old dog. Look like a little horse.
They say that helps with tomatoes, but I'll be satisfied with this.
She takes some coins out of a small purse and gives them to Sully.
I don't know what got in that child. Seemed like she don't want to learn nothing.
Black Mary just stubborn. Her and Caesar just alike. Only she ain't got his evilness. But she got everything else. They say the apple don't fall too far from the tree, you know. That's the difference between her and Caesar. The apple fell and then it rolled a little bit.
I'm going shopping.
I thought you were going to do the laundry.
Well, I gotta go down on Logan Street.
It ain't like it's going to do itself. You got to plan better. I told you the key is to plan. You plan right, you unlock any door. You got to run down on Logan Street and do the laundry. You got to do both.
I ain't say I was gonna do it. I said I'm going out now.
She running down there to see Percy Saunders. I know where she going. I know where she going. She used to go see Percy Saunders and Robert Smiley. I done told her the people gonna throw stones at her.
Nah. You can't keep a man and a woman apart, you know. They was made for each other. That's what I've been trying to tell you. Every time I see you, you make me feel good.
You tell that to all the women. They say you got one on every street. You must not have none on Wally Avenue.
I got two down there, one on each arm. Everybody know that. But what they don't know is, I don't want to chat no more. You know the only one that know that. You the only one need to know. I've been blessed. You know how they say, count your blessings? Well, I can't count that far. Never did live my life for a woman. That's one blessing I ain't had. I'm never in one place long enough. If I lived my life for a woman, I couldn't live my life for the people. The Bible say you can't serve two masters.
Come on, let's get married. You always talking about getting married. I done had 4 husbands. I might as well have 5. I'm trying to catch up with Black Mary. She told me she had 17 husbands.
Black Mary ain't had no husband. She too damn stubborn.
She had 17 rings, and I give her a dime for each one of them. That was in a dream I had about Black Mary before I even known her. I had that dream, and the next day, Black Mary knocked on my door and asked me if I had laundry that needed washing. Oh, I told her to go upstairs, make up that bed, and anybody that's willing to do laundry is welcome to stay here. That's 3 years ago. She's been here ever since. I had a dream about you last night.
My dreams won't stay in one place long enough for me to remember.
I dreamed you had a ship full of men, and you was coming across the water, had that stick, and you standing up there in this boat full of men. You come and asked me what was I doing standing there. I told you I wanted to go back across the ocean. I asked you to take me. You said you had some work to do, but that you would come back. Told me you had a magic stick, and when you come back, you would pop the water so I could walk across. You come on back, and all your men had drowned, and the boat was sinking. You said you was going to get another boat and some more men. Said you would come back and smoke the water. Then you walked off with that stick. Said you was going to Alabama.
I just got a letter from my sister today. I gotta go. She says she can't hold on no more. Say the white peoples have gone crazy. I gotta go back down there and get her. Eli say he's staying here with you. But I gotta go get my sister. This is my last trip. I'm getting old. I can't do more than one more. I don't know what I'm gonna do then. I was thinking about living my life for you. But I gotta go back down there and get my sister.
I got that stove working. Now just leave it set as it is. If it gets too hot, then you just let me know.
Eli goes to the coat rack to get his coat and hat.
Salah, you ready to go on down to Garrett Brown's funeral?
Sally goes to get his coat and hat too.
Well, come on back and get some of these pig feet.
I want more than pig feet, but I don't think you gonna give me none.
Go on, you old rascal, you.
Sally and Eli exit, and the lights go down on the scene. Scene 2. The lights come up in the parlor. Citizen Barlow enters from the upstairs window. There's a knock on the door, but no one answers. Another knock. Silence. Citizen enters from upstairs. Hungry, he heads for the kitchen and finds the bread box. He grabs a piece of bread, stuffs it in his mouth, grabs another piece and stuffs it in his pocket. He looks around for something else to eat when Aunt Esther enters from her room.
I didn't know that window was still open up there. No wonder I'm cold.
Citizen is startled. He doesn't know what to do.
I ain't gonna harm nobody.
Eli gone out. He ain't coming back for a while. Black Mary gone shopping. Are you hungry? She got them pig feet on, but they ain't done yet. She gonna make up a pot of soup when she come back.
I ain't no robber. You said to come back Tuesday. I can't wait till Tuesday. I can't wait. I have to see you now. They say you can help me. They say you can wash people's souls.
God the only one that can wash people's souls. God's got big forgiveness.
People say, go see Aunt Esther.
You remind me of my June bug. He was a nice looking man like you. Had big hands. Do they call you Junebug? What's your name? My name is Esther Tyler. Some people call me Aunt Esther. What they call you?
Citizen. They call me Citizen Barlow.
Were you looking for money, Mr. Citizen? I'd give you $2 if I had my purse. Go in that room and get my purse and I'll give you $2. In the room there on the nightstand. You can go and get it and I'll give you $2.
I ain't looking for no money. I ain't no robber. I come to see you.
You remind me of my Junebug. He was the only one of my boys that caused me trouble. But I do believe he was a good boy, just a rascal of a man. Is you a rascal, Mr. Citizen? I believe you is. Come sit down and keep me company. I get lonely sometimes. Do you ever get lonely? Being lonely is hard when there's no one else and so many people around. I told myself I'm going to die from loneliness. There was a man who ran and jumped in the river. They say he stole a bucket of nails. Did you hear about that? He died a lonely death. Wasn't nobody but him. All them people standing around watching, and he was the only one who died.
He could have come out that river.
That's the only way he had to say that he was innocent. It must have meant an awful lot for him to say that. He was willing to die to say that.
I was standing there. I seen him. I thought he was going to come out. I told myself he was going to come out. People was telling him to come out. And he just sunk down in the water. He kept saying he didn't steal the bucket of nails. Everything they say to him, he just say he didn't steal the bucket of nails.
Jesus Christ was falsely accused. He died a bitter death on the cross. This man was like Jesus. He said he would rather die innocent than to live guilty. You can go ahead and eat your bread, Mr. Citizen. Black Mary will be back in a minute. I'll have her make up a pot of soup and some cornbread. You like cornbread? You look like you can eat a whole pan yourself.
I like cornbread, yeah.
And which you like best, cornbread or biscuits? I can never make up my mind.
I like cornbread. I like biscuits better.
That was like my Junebug. I lost my Junebug, Mr. Citizen. Oh, that was a sad time. The darkest day I ever did see was the day I lost my June bug. You ever looked at a piece of rope, Mr. Citizen? God made that rope. It come right out the ground. You twist and weave it all together and you get a rope. Rope can help you do a lot of things. You tie it around a bucket and you can get water out of a well. You can tie things together with a piece of rope. God made the rope. It's man that sometimes gets in the way of God's creation and turns it into the devil. Did you ever have love, Mr. Citizen? I've seen people have love and didn't know it. I had love and didn't know it. It's like money. You can't ever have enough. You ever had enough money, Mr. Citizen? Some people ain't never had enough.
I ain't got no money, Miss Tyler. I ain't never had none. Time I get it, seems like it belongs to somebody else. I owe the mill a lot of money.
Where was you born, Mr. Citizen?
Alabama. I only been here for 4 weeks. When I left Alabama, I had all the roads closed to the colored people. I had to sneak out. Say they didn't want nobody to leave. Said we had to stay here and work. Told my mom I was going and she said, okay. Told me, there's a big world out there. I kissed her. She told me she loved me and I left. Almost got caught a couple of times. I had to go out the back way and find my own roads. Took me almost 2 weeks. There was some other people out on the road and we helped each other. Me and a fellow named Roper Lee went over to the mill. They said it was paying $2 a day. But when we got there, they said $1.50. Then they said we got $2 room and board. And they sent us over to a place. Man said we got to put $2 on top of that. Then he put 2 men to a room with 1 bed. The fellow I was with want to fight about it. I'm just starting out. I don't want no trouble. I told him I'll sleep on the floor. I wasn't planning on sleeping there alone. I just started sleeping out there. I asked one fellow, what board meant? He said, they're supposed to give you something to eat. They ain't gave us nothing. I said, okay. I can't make them give me nothing. What am I gonna do? I gotta eat. I bought a loaf of bread for a dime, a bowl of soup, like 10 cents around the corner. I wasn't desperate. I had 65 cents to make it to payday. I ate half the bread. I said I would get a bowl of soup tomorrow. Come payday, they give me $3. I say, the rest go on the bill. I had to give the man who owned the house $2. What am I gonna do, Miss Tyler? I told the people at the mill I was gonna get another job. They say, you couldn't do that, because I still owe them money. And they was gonna get the police on me. I was gonna go to another city. Before I had a chance, I killed a man. I don't know, Miss Tyler. I feel like I got a hole inside me. People say they help me. You can help me. I don't want to go to hell, Miss Tyler. My mama cry every time something bad happened to me.
It will all come to stand in the light, Mr. Citizen. Everything and everybody got to stand in the light. Jesus Christ stood in the light. The people saw him standing there and they killed him. But the judgment ain't with the people. The judgment with God. He the big master. God don't never lie. The people liable to do anything. They lie and cheat. That's why God didn't leave the judgment with the people. Say, I am the beginning and the end. The people can't say that. They know they're going to come to an earthly grave. The end is already writ for them.
Citizen has fallen asleep in the chair. Aunt Esther begins to sing a lullaby.
Go to sleep, my child. You don't know the world yet. Go to sleep, my child. The world is not easy. Go to sleep, my child. I am here watching over you.
Scene 3. The lights come up on Eli and Black Mary in the kitchen.
I still don't know how he got in the house. I ain't known Aunt Esther to answer the door in 25 years.
Well, he ain't said too much. I fixed that bed up, but he ain't said too much.
I believe he come in through that window up there. Knock some of that paint off the window. I just don't know why she wanted him to stay here. I put him out there to work on that wall. He out there now busting up them rocks. You got to keep your eyes on him.
There's a knock on the door. Eli goes to answer it. Salah enters.
Hey, Salah, come on in.
They had a riot over at the mill. People say they wasn't going to work, and the police tried to make them. They threw bottles at the police and started busting out the windows. The police charged the crowd, arresting everybody they could get their hands on. They couldn't arrest them fast enough. The horses trampled people, ran over this one fella. He's liable to be crippled for life. They're having another meeting down at the church tonight. They say they ain't going to work tomorrow either. Well, Reverend Tolliver told them, said, don't go. Told them that the hands of justice was at the gate, but the people still had to open it.
Salah hands Black Mary the newspaper.
Here, Black Mary, read this.
It says, Gary Brown of Louisville, Kentucky, departed this life September 30th, 1904 at Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, at midday, in the midst of a life of usefulness and in the fullness of his powers. He was born of slave parents, June the 29th, 1862, in Charleston, South Carolina. And an early period in his life, interested parties hurried the mother and 3 children northward, without the protection of a husband and a father, to begin a long siege of poverty. Mr. Brown leaves to mourn his unfinished life, a wife and 4 children, and a host of family and friends.
You know, I got somebody to help me with that wall. He out there now busting up them rocks. Aunt Esther had said he's supposed to stay here till he helped build that wall.
Well, Black Mary, I need you to help me write a letter.
What did Jefferson Culpepper say?
Jefferson Culpepper got the consumption. His doctor say he can't go. It don't look like he got much time left.
You know I'd go with you if I didn't have to stay here with Aunt Esther. Yeah, it looks like old times.
Well, I guess I'm gonna have to go by myself.
So what you want the letter to say?
Let's see. Dear Liza, it's hard times here for everybody too. Hold on the best you can till I get there. You got that?
You want to tell him when you're coming?
I promise the fall will not pass before you see me. Pretend to go along with everything as it is. Tell her, the best faith is in yourself, even though God do have a hand in it. That's all.
How you want to sign it?
Your brother, 2 Kings.
Aunt Esther enters and goes and sits in her special chair.
I thought that was you out here. Where's Mr. Citizen?
He out back. I got him working on that wall.
See if he wants something to eat. Black Mary, you got something for Mr. Citizen to eat? When you leaving, Salah?
Well, I went down to see Patera and got me some new boots. Jefferson Culpepper can't go. He got the consumptions. Soon as I break these boots in, I gotta go.
Eli and Citizen enter, And Citizen and Black Mary stare at each other.
Good morning, Mr. Citizen. Did you sleep all right?
Yeah, I slept good.
I want you to meet somebody. That there is Sally. That's Citizen Barlow. Mr. Citizen remind me of my June bug.
My name is Two Kings. Used to be Uncle Alfred. The government looking for me for running away. So I changed it.
My mama named me Citizen. After freedom came. She wouldn't like it if I changed my name.
Well, you know what? Your mama trying to tell you something. She put a heavy load on you, son. It's hard to be a citizen. You're gonna have to fight to get that. In time you get it, you'd be surprised how heavy it is. I used to be called Uncle Alfred back in slavery. I ran into one fella called me Uncle Alfred, and I told him, say, Uncle Alfred's dead. He said, I'm looking at you. I told him, you looking at two kings. That's David and Solomon. He must have had something in his ears, because all he heard was Solomon. He said, I'm going to call you Salah. The people been calling me Salah ever since. But my name is Two Kings. Some people call me Solomon, and some people call me David. I answer to either one. I don't know which one God's going to call me. But I know if he call me Uncle Alfred, we going to have a big fight.
You got that stick. You know, my daddy used to carry a stick like that. My daddy carried a stick everywhere he went. You saw my daddy? You saw that stick.
Lots of people carry a stick. Ain't you ever heard that sticks and stones can break your bones, but names can never hurt you? This here's a bone breaker. I tried carrying stones, but they was just too heavy. I seen 100 men carrying sticks. My daddy carried a stick. He had a right to fight to carry his stick. I don't know if them 100 men had to fight, but they was carrying them sticks just the same. Why don't you carry a stick?
I got my knife.
Well, I got a knife too, sir. Knives is for killing, though. I thank God I ain't never had to kill nobody. I come close a couple of times. Well, this old gal took a liking to me, and a man came after me one time. That's as close as I ever come to killing somebody. I busted him up pretty bad with my stick, and she asked me, said, stop, because he was paying her rent, and she needed that. Get you a stick, and it'll save you a lot of trouble. Where you from?
Alabama. You know, down around Opelika.
I'm from Alabama too. They got some good people down there. I've been to Opelika. I've been all over. I've been clear down to the Gulf of Mexico, all through Louisiana and up to Canada. I first set foot in Canada in 1857. Yeah, I'm going down to Alabama to get my sister. You ought to come and go with me. I need a strong man like you. Get you one of them bone breakers and let's go down there and help the people get away.
I just left. You know, if I go back with you, I'll just have to turn around and come back. I'm up here looking for a job. Ain't no jobs down there.
People think they're in freedom. That's all Daddy talked about. He died and never did have it. I said, I got it, but what is it? I'm still trying to find out. That freedom ain't never been nothing but trouble.
Freedom is what you make it.
That's what I'm saying. You gotta fight to make it mean something. All I mean is, you got a long road to hoe and ain't got no plow. Ain't got no seed, ain't got no mule. What good is freedom if you can't do nothing with it? I seen many a man die for freedom, but he didn't know what he was getting. If he had known, he might have thought twice about it.
Do you want a bowl of beans, Salah?
What kind of beans is it? I had a couple of old gals try to poison me. But one gal, doctor told me I was lucky. Said if I'd have eaten another bite, I'd have died. Good thing she couldn't cook. I was just eating to be polite.
They're baby lima beans cooked with some ham hocks.
I can't eat no lima beans. Them there's belly busters. But I can eat a little baby limas. They agree with me a little bit.
You know, when I was a boy, we used to say a little rhyme. Beans, beans, the music of fruit. The more you eat, the more you toot. The more you toot, the better you feel. So have some more of those beans for every meal.
Them big lima beans tell the truth about it. Hey, Black Mary, I got another pair of pants and a shirt that needs washing. I ain't got but a dime.
Well, where's all those dollars you get from selling that dog shit? You was up in here bragging about it the other day.
I give you 15 cents, but I just bought me a new pair of shoes.
Black Mary sets a bowl of lima beans and cornbread in front of Citizen.
If I had 15 cents, I'd give it to you. I try to do the right thing, you know. I always want to be on the right side. But sometimes, I just don't know what side that is. They say God had plans, but the devil had plans also.
And God ain't never wrong.
Say God say different things, though. I'll smite my enemy, then he tell you to turn the other cheek. That don't get you nothing but a broke jaw.
You want to be like God. Everything that's for him ain't for you. That's why God threw Lucifer out of the heaven.
That's what I'm saying. Lucifer was God's enemy. God ain't turned the other cheek. He picked Lucifer right on up and threw him on down into hell.
Well, the Bible says, do unto others as you would have them do unto you.
God didn't do that. He didn't want Lucifer to throw him out of heaven. He wanted Lucifer to bow down and pledge obedience. That's what he would have had Lucifer do. That's what he'd had him do unto him. He wasn't going to bow down and pledge allegiance to Lucifer.
There's a knock on the door. Eli goes to answer it. Caesar Wilkes enters. Caesar is about 52 years old, and he's the local constable and Black Mary's brother.
Now this is a peaceful house.
These niggas done gone crazy. They was over at the mill riding and busting out the goddamn windows, talking about they ain't going to work. They had all kind of chaos and confusion over there. Police had to arrest about 200 people. I ain't never seen nothing like it. Wanna bust out the goddamn windows, running around like a pack of wild animals, talking about they ain't gonna go to work. You can't have that. The mill's losing money. That's 3 days in a row they ain't went to work. They after me downtown to put a stop to it. I'll give them one more day. If they don't go to work tomorrow, there's going to be hell to pay.
Black Mary sets a bowl of beans in front of Caesar. Caesar notices Citizen.
I see there's another one coming to get his soul washed. If I didn't know any better, I'd think Aunt Esther was selling moonshine.
Sister BARLOW is helping me build a wall out back.
What you building a wall for? You don't need a wall. Somebody want to come in, they just climb over. There ain't nothing but a waste of time. You don't want to worry about an honest man. Now, a thief, he ain't going to let a wall stop him. He's going to climb over and keep climbing over until he find out crime don't pay. That's the way you stop a thief. A wall ain't going to do nothing but make him mad. Hey, where you from?
Alabama.
Now, I don't want to catch you stealing nothing. I catch you stealing something, I'm gonna put you in jail. How long you been here?
Just 4 weeks.
Man, get you some shoes. This is the city.
You don't need them farming boots up here. Get you some shoes and stay out them saloons. You working? Where you working at?
I'm looking for a job.
Go over to the mill. They got jobs over there. Go over to the mill and tell them I sent you. Either that or go to Philadelphia. They got jobs in Philadelphia. It's too crowded here. Too many niggas breed trouble. Move on to Philadelphia. If you stay around here, you'll stay out of trouble. My name is Caesar. I'm the boss around here. What's your name?
Citizen Barlow.
Are you a troublemaker, Mr. Barlow? You ever been in jail?
I ain't never been in jail.
Well, I tell you, that's where you're headed. You got to have visible means of support around here. If I see you standing around looking to steal something and you ain't got $2 in your pocket, you understand? You going to jail. Get you a steady job and stay out of trouble and stay off of them streets.
I ain't looking to steal nothing.
Now, this is my sister. Black Mary's my sister. And I want you to stay away from her. And I don't want you looking at her wrong.
Leave him alone, Caesar.
I'm just scolding him. Hey, in fact, I like him. I don't want to see him get in any trouble.
My mama told me to stay out of trouble.
Hey, your mama told you right. Now, where you living? You got a place to stay? You got money to pay rent?
I ain't got no place.
Come see me. I'll give you a place to stay, but you got to pay the rent, though. And if you can't pay the rent, you got to move on and let somebody else pay it. You know how to read? You know how to count money?
I know how. I know how to count money.
Here go a quarter. I'm going to see what you do with that. Now, these niggas, they take and throw their money away in saloons, and they get mad when it's gone. Now, I give one fella a quarter, and he turn around and give it to the candy man. I say, he could have did something with that quarter. It wasn't much, but it was 25 cents more than he had. He took and threw it away. He can't see past his nose. He can't see it's all set up for him to do anything he wants. See? So he could have took and bought him a can of shoe polish and got himself a rag. If he could see that far, he'd look up and find $25 in his pocket. $25 buys you an opportunity. You don't need but $5 to get in the crap game. That's 5 opportunities he done throwed away. Now, the candy man, he gonna get himself a bigger wagon and another 5 pounds of sugar. He gonna be digging a ditch the rest of his life. I'm gonna see what you do. You turn that 25 cents into $5 and you come and see me and I'll give you a job.
Citizen shoves the quarter back across the table.
I don't want nobody to give me nothing.
Now I can see you one of them hard-headed niggas. I'm gonna have to bust you upside the head a couple of times. Then you straighten up. You watch yourself, cause you just got on my list. I told you I'm the boss around here. You ask anybody, they'll tell you who Caesar is.
Look, best be getting back to work on that wall, Citizen. We got a lot of work to do.
Hey, you keep your eye on him. That's one you got to watch. Ain't nothing missing around here, is it? He liable to steal the coffee pot.
Caesar, why don't you leave him alone?
I ain't said nothing bad about him. Like I said, I like him. He reminds me of myself when I was young. But if I was you, I'd keep my eye on him and I'd feed him in the yard.
He notices Sally's shoes.
Hey, Solly, I see you got a new pair of shoes.
I got a new coat too, but I'm scared to wear it. People might think I'm rich, man, like you.
Hey, I ain't said nothing bad about him. Uh-oh, where am I? Money ain't got nobody's name on it. It's floating out there. Go on and grab you some. Hey, I got me a new coat too. I'm gonna wear it tomorrow.
Well, you wear yours, and I wear mine.
I heard Reverend Tolliver went down to try to talk to the mayor.
Now, what makes him think the mayor gonna see him? The mayor ain't gonna see him. Wanna buy that damn fool, bury him out of the church. I told him, how you gonna do that? How he gonna get a Christian burial? Man killed himself. He's still a bucket of nails, and then go out and run and jump in the river and stay there till he died? How he gonna get a Christian burial?
Well, he said he didn't do it.
Hell, I'd say I didn't do it too if the law was after me. You arrest somebody for loitering, and they'll swear they ain't standing there. That don't mean nothing to me, 'cause he said he didn't do it. I had witnesses. 500 people standing around watching a man drown. Now, I tried to break it up, get them to go home, but they want to stand around and watch a damn fool drown himself in the river. I tried to save him, but he ain't had enough sense to save himself. Now, people want to blame me, but I got to keep order. And just like them niggas want to ride over a bucket of nails, talking about they ain't going to work, talking about closing the mill down. Now, they don't understand. The mill is what holds everything together. If you close the mill down, the city would be in chaos. The city needs that tin. They need that tin in Philadelphia. Hey, they need it in Detroit and Cincinnati. Industry is what drives the country. Without industry, wouldn't nobody be working. That tin put people to work doing other things. Now, you see, these niggas can't see that. They ought to be glad the mill is there. If it wasn't for the mill, these niggas wouldn't have no way to pay their rent. Close down the mill and wait and see what happened then. I'll tell you what happened. 100 niggas is gonna go to jail for stealing something. That's what's gonna happen. And 100 niggas are gonna go to jail for loitering. And another 100 is gonna go to jail for disturbing the peace after they get mad and start fighting each other. 500 babies is gonna go hungry. You gonna have another 100 new prostitutes on the street. People gonna be living on the streets begging for a dime. And all because some damn fool took it upon himself to steal a bucket of nails and go and run and jump in the goddamn river. You close down the mill, man, you ain't got nothing. Niggas can't see that. And they want to blame me. Now, you know whose fault it is? I'll tell you whose fault it is. It's Abraham Lincoln's fault. That's right, yeah. He ain't had no idea what he was doing. He didn't know like I know. Now, some of these niggas, they was better off in slavery. They don't know how to act otherwise. Now, you try and do something nice for a nigga, and it'll backfire on you every time. You try and get them an opportunity by giving them a job, and they take it and throw it away, talking about they ain't gonna go to work.
Hey, Eli, I gotta go. Tell Aunt Esther I'll see you later.
And I have your laundry ready by Thursday, Sally.
I see you still carrying that stick.
Just a walking stick. Abraham Lincoln carried a walking stick. General Grant carried a walking stick. If you didn't arrest him, go tell General Grant he can't carry his walking stick.
Well, now, they got laws against that now. I done told you that. Now, this ain't the country. This ain't Alabama. This is Pittsburgh. They got laws against carrying a stick in Pittsburgh. That is a weapon.
The law can go to hell if you telling me I can't carry my walking stick.
Now, that must be 5,000 different jobs a man can have. Now, you tell me, how somebody comes to picking up dog shit off the street?
Look, let me get on back out here to this wall.
And, look here, and you got him walking around talking about, sees a sister does my laundry. How you think that make me look? My sister a washerwoman. Why don't you come back to work for me at the bakery? You sitting up here under Aunt Esther, just watching time go by. Aunt Esther ain't got no time. She got both feet in the grave, just waiting for somebody to come follow.
You don't know nothing about Aunt Esther. She gave me more than most other people. And I've never been so at peace with myself since I've been here. So I don't want to hear that. You can say whatever you want, but I don't want to hear that.
I told you, I can help you. You're a young woman.
I'm doing just fine, okay? You selling magic bread and overcharging rent and putting people out on the street. I don't want to have no parts of that.
Now listen here, I give good value for my service. I got clean rooms. Now, quite naturally, if you don't pay the rent, somebody else will. Now, I done tried to tell these niggas, this is the city. This ain't the country. I can't wait till the crops come in. It's taking them a while, but they learning. Yeah, I sell magic bread. I got a big sign say, you only have to eat half as much to get twice as full. And I charge 1.5 times for it. You don't understand. I give the people hope when they got nothing else. Now they take that loaf of bread and they make it last twice as long. They wouldn't do that if I didn't have them pay 1.5 times for it. I'm helping the people.
Caesar, I done told you I'm satisfied right here where I'm at. I don't want to be no part of that.
Now, see, I remember when you was part of it. You was selling whole cakes with me. You was running the bakery. Why can't it be like old times? I miss having you work with me. I remember when we was working together, it wasn't Caesar or Black Mary. It was about the Wilkes family.
Well, that was before you killed that boy.
He was a thief. He was stealing. That's about the worst thing you can do, to steal the fruits of somebody else's labor. Go out and work for it. That's what I did. I ain't never stole nothing in my life. That's against the law. Stealing is against the law. Everybody knows that.
It was a loaf of bread, Caesar. He was stealing a loaf of bread.
Now look, I gave him an opportunity to stop. I told him he was under arrest. He started running with a loaf of bread under his arm. I had to shoot him. You can't let nobody get away with something like that. People don't understand. The law is everything. What is it not? People think the law is supposed to serve them, but ain't nobody supposed to be served by the law. You serve it. There ain't nothing above the law. That's what I try and tell these niggas. Everything comes under the law. You got to respect the law. Unless you're dead. That's the only way you ain't got to respect the law.
I remember a time when you would have laughed at that boy for stealing a loaf of bread. What happened to that, Caesar?
I took an oath to uphold the law. See, and you try and be like your mother. I don't know why your mother never liked me. She tried to pardon you against me, and you let her.
See, you killing that boy over a loaf of bread ain't got nothing to do with my mother. You always try to hide behind that.
I ain't got to play the hand. I got to play the hand that was dealt to me. Now you look around and you see, you black. You look at the calendar, slavery over. I'm a free man. I get up and go wherever I want to in the morning. I can move all around, pick any woman I want. I can walk down the street to the store, buy anything I want with my money. There ain't nothing I can't have. I'm starting out with nothing. So I got to get a little something, a little place to start. You look and you see the race you got to run is different than somebody else's. Maybe it's got more hills, could be a little longer, but this is what I got. Now what do I do with it? I look around and I see these niggas got to eat and niggas got to sleep. And I say, if I had some bread, I'd be a rich man. I got me some bread. In the Valley of the Blind, the one-eyed man is king. I started selling hoe cakes off the back of the truck. I cooked them over coals. I got me some beans, selling them right out the pot. I even put a little pork in them. And then along come the police and they run me off the corner. Say I need a license. It took me a while, but I got me a license. I had to pay 6 or 7 people, but I got me a license. Then the niggas started to say my bowls are too small. I got bigger bowls. Say I didn't put enough pork in the beans. Put in more pork. And got me some chickens. And I charged extra for the big ones. And the people got mad. You know, one man told me the chicken had big feet, but they didn't have big wings. So I seen I was in the wrong business. I said, I'm gonna let the niggas eat on their own, and I'll give them a place to sleep. Only I didn't have no money to buy no property. So I went down to the bank to borrow some money. They tell me I needed some collateral. Say you need something to borrow against. I say, all right, I'll get me some collateral. So I opened me up a gambling joint in the back of the barber shop. So risky. Then the police come and shut it down. I had to put some bullet holes in a couple of niggas, and the police arrested me. Put me on the county farm. I had to bust a couple of niggas upside the head for trying to steal my food. Couple tried to escape. I caught them. You know why? Because that don't do nothing but make it harder on everybody else. They out there enjoying their freedom, ducking and dodging the law, and everybody on the inside on half ration and got to make up their work. So there was a fella by the name of John Hanson, and he started a riot. Now I seen that wasn't going to be nothing but bad news. So I took him on, 1-to-1, man to man. He busted my eye. That's why I can't see but so good out of that one eye. He busted my eye, but I put down the riot. Hey, they gave me a year, but I only did 6 months. And then here come the mayor. He calls me in and says, I want you to be in charge of the 3rd ward. Told me, you fry the little fish, send me the big fish. So they give me a gun and a badge. I took my gun and badge and went down to the bank, laid it on the counter, told them I want to borrow some money on that. And that was a fella named Harry Bryan. Had a place on Caldwell Street he sold me. Now they ran him out of town. He charged me 3 times what it was worth. Took the money and ran. They tried to kill him for selling to a Negro. So I said, all right, I got me a little start. And the niggas naturally got mad at me. Said I must think I was a white man because I got a hold of a little something. They've been mad at me ever since. Everybody mad at me. You mad at me.
It ain't about being mad at you, Caesar. You're my brother, and I respect and honor that. And I always have and I always will. But we don't owe each other any more than that.
Now listen, I ain't got but one sister. And I'd try to do right by her, and you push me away. Now family is important. I know the value of family. Blood is thicker than water. It's been that way, always will be. You can't even water it down. Now your mama, she want to turn blood into vinegar. Now when Uncle Jack was dying, she wouldn't even go see him. Said he was fooling the people, being a fake blind man. She was right, but that's her brother. He deserved better than that. You can't sit in judgment over people. That's God's job. God decides who's done right.
No, he ain't no trouble. Eli trying to figure out how he got in the house.
He knocked on the door and I let him in.
Eli said you ain't answered the door in 25 years. See, it looked like somebody knocked some of the paint off coming through the wall and coming through the hall window.
If he knew what he asked for, I told you that's the problem now. People waste their time asking all the wrong questions. The question ain't how he got in. The question is who left the window open. That's the question. Now, I told you don't waste the water. Put them in a pot and wash them off in a pot. Don't leave all them stems on there. You got that fire too high. Damp that fire down. Wake me up if Sally comes back.
Aunt Esther exits into her room. Black Mary chops vegetables at the sink, and Citizen enters with a bucket.
Eli sent me for some water.
There it is over there.
Citizen starts to draw the water.
Hey, you knocked some of the paint off the seal coming through the window.
I couldn't wait till Tuesday. I gotta get my soul washed real bad. You ever had your soul washed?
God's the only one who can wash your soul.
The people sent me to see Aunt Esther. One man said he came to see Aunt Esther, and all his problems went away. Said she can help anybody.
And you gotta help yourself. Aunt Esther can help you if you're willing to help yourself. She ain't got no magic power.
The people say, go see Aunt Esther and get your soul washed.
Well, the people say a lot of things.
I like your hands. You got pretty hands.
I do too much laundry to have pretty hands. They're a woman's hands. That's all you see.
Eli, that's your man?
I ain't got no man.
You're too young a woman not to have a man.
When you a young man, do you have a woman?
Left my woman down in Alabama. We just couldn't get along. Say goodbye and tears in our eyes. And, you ever left anybody like that?
I left and been left.
Citizen picks up the bucket and heads towards the door. Then he stops.
Right next to yours. Maybe you want to see me tonight.
What I want to see you about, Mr. Citizen?
I got something for you.
What you got for me?
Woman got needs. I can fill you up.
And what do you know about a woman's needs?
I don't know all about a woman, but I know a woman needs a man.
Citizen moves behind her and puts his arms around her. Black Mary pushes him away and twists her way out of his grasp. She looks at him for a minute, then opens her arms, offering herself to him.
Here, Mr. Citizen. Here.
Citizen embraces her, and Black Mary lays her head on his chest.
So you got a woman in your hands. Now what? What you got? What you gonna do? Time ain't long, Mr. Citizen. A woman ain't but so many times filled up. Well, what you gonna do? What, you gonna fill me up? Love, happiness, peace? What you got, Mr. Citizen? I've seen it all. You got something new? You fill me up, Mr. Citizen. What you got for me? You got something I ain't seen? Come on. What can I be without you?
I'm a man. I can't change that. You're a woman. A man's gonna have his way with a woman. I got the same as everybody else.
Black Mary returns to chopping vegetables.
Leroy and John and Cujo and Sam and Robert, one after the other, they come and they go. And you can't hold on to none of them. They slip right through your hands. They use you up and you can't hold on to them. They're all the time taking till it's gone. They ain't tried to put nothing to it. They ain't got nothing in their hand. They ain't got nothing to add to it. They're too busy taking. You know why? They're taking because they need. And you can't really blame them for that. They so full of their own needs that they can't see you. Now here you come. You don't even know what you need. All you see is a woman. You can't see nothing else. You can't think nothing else. That blinds you. All right, Mr. Citizen. I'm going to come to your room tonight. But the morning got to come, Mr. Citizen. And what you got then? You tell me tomorrow. You wake up and you look at your hands and you see what you got.
I got me. That's all there is.
That ain't never been enough.
Citizen picks up the bucket and goes out the door. Black Mary chops vigorously as the lights go down on the scene. Scene 5. The lights come up on Aunt Esther and Black Mary in the parlor. Black Mary is washing Aunt Esther's feet. Aunt Esther is smoking a pipe.
You think you're supposed to know everything? Life is a mystery. Don't you know life is a mystery? I see you still trying to figure it out. It ain't all for you to know. It's all an adventure. That's all life is. But you got to trust that adventure. I'm on an adventure. I've been on one since I was 9 years old. That's how old I was when my mama sent me to live with Miss Tyler. Miss Tyler gave me her name, Esther Tyler. I don't tell nobody what I was called before that. The only one who know that is my mama. I stayed right on there with her until she died. Miss Tyler passed it on to me. If you ever make up your mind, I'm going to pass it on to you. People say it's too much to carry, but I told myself somebody got to carry it. Miss Esther carried it right up till the day she died. I didn't run from it. I picked it up and walked with it. I got a strong memory. I got a long memory. People say you crazy to remember, but I ain't afraid to remember. I try to remember out loud. I keep my memories alive. I feed them. I got to feed them, otherwise they'd eat me up. I got memories go way back. I'm carrying them for a lot of folk. All the old-timey folks. I'm carrying their memories, and I'm carrying my own. If you don't want it, I got to find somebody else. I'm getting old. Going on 300 years now. That's what Miss Tyler told me. 285 by my count.
Well, I ain't say I didn't want it.
You act like it. Run from it all the time. I told myself Blackberry got to make up her mind. I don't know how much time I got left. Go upstairs and get Mr. Citizen. Tell him I want to see him. You can cut my toenails later.
Blackberry exits up the stairs and Aunt Esther lights her pipe. Citizen enters from the stairs.
Sit on down there, Mr. Citizen. It's been a good day, Mr. Citizen. Has it been a good day for you? Sometimes the days run into one another and you can't tell one from another. I look at you and I see you a man got good taste. My husband was like that. He was a man of good taste. He dead now. I told myself it couldn't be nothing but bad luck. Sometimes it's hard to tell bad luck from good luck. But then again, sometimes it's easy. Sometimes you're lucky and you don't even know it. Is you lucky, Mr. Citizen? Some people carry their luck with them and some people got to find it. Sometimes you find bad luck and good luck in the same place. I was lucky when I met Rupert and unlucky when I lost him. Tell me about the man you killed. Tell me what you've done, Mr. Citizen.
Citizen reaches in his bag and pulls out a fistful of nails.
I stole a bucket of nails. The mill wouldn't pay me, so I stole a bucket of nails. They say Garrett Brown stole it, and he ran and jumped in the river. I told myself to tell him. I did, but every time I started to tell him, something got in the way. Thought he was going to come out that water, but he never did. I looked up, and he had drowned. It's like I got a hole inside me. If I ain't careful, it seems like everything will leak out that hole. What to do, Miss Tyler?
I know a man used to raise pigs, great big old pigs. To him, the pig was the beginning of everything, and it was the end of everything. Wherever he looked, he saw pigs. He saw pigs in the sky, and he saw pigs in the ground. To him, the pig was the center of his life. One day, another man come along and killed all his pigs. He lost everything he had. He lost the center of his life, 'cause it wasn't inside him. It wasn't something nobody could take away. See, Mr. Citizen, right now that bucket of nails is at the center of your life. You only have one life, Mr. Citizen. It's your life. Can't nobody claim it. You ain't never gonna forget that man who jumped in the river. There are times when it will come and take hold of you and shake you. There ain't nothing you can do about that. It's them in-between times that you can do something about. You got to find something else to be in the center of your life. You got to find out why it's so important for Garrett Brown to die rather than to take his 30 days. Do you know why he didn't come out the water, Mr. Citizen? Do you know why he chose to die rather than be branded a thief?
Because he didn't do it.
We know he didn't do it. But why, Mr. Citizen? That's what we're trying to find out. Why he would rather die than to say he was a thief.
Because everybody would know. When they see him, they say, there go that man that stole the bucket of nails.
He didn't care if anybody else knew if he did it or not. He knew. He didn't do it for the people standing around watching. He did it for himself. He said, I'd rather die in truth than to live a lie. That way, he can say that his life is worth more than a bucket of nails. What is your life worth, Mr. Citizen? That's what you got to find out. You got to find a way to live in truth. If you live right, you die right. Like Garrett Brown. Do you know the story of Peter from the Bible? Peter denied Jesus 3 times before the cock crowed. That's what the Bible say. Verily, verily, I say unto you, before the cock crow, you will deny me thrice. They asked Peter, do you know this man? And Peter said, no, I don't know him. Not once, Mr. Citizen, 3 times. He said one time, then he had a chance to think about it before he said it again. Right there, he could have redeemed himself. What do you think, Mr. Citizen? Why did he deny him 3 times? Would you have denied him 3 times?
I don't know, Miss Tyler. I don't know much about the Bible.
The Bible say Peter denied Christ 3 times. I always wondered about that. He had his redemption handed to him on a silver platter, but he didn't take it. I wonder, will you take yours, Mr. Citizen? Black Mary? If the wheel don't turn the right way, you got to fix it. Now, I know a man who went to fix the wheel. It was turning backwards instead of forward. He went to fix it, and time he was through, that wheel didn't turn at all. You got to be careful. Things ain't always what they seem. Mr. Citizen, listen to what I tell you. I'm going to help you. I'm going to tell you about the city of bones. But first I'm going to send you upriver. When you get there, I want you to look around and find 2 pennies lying on the ground. They got to be lying side by side. You can't find one on one street and one on another street. They got to be lying side by side. If you see one laying by itself, just let it lay there. When you find them 2 pennies, I want you to put them in your handkerchief and bring them straight back to me. Where's your coat and hat? Go get your coat and hat. Black Mary, draw the shade and get me a candle. Where's Eli?
He's gone down to the meeting at the church.
The people will come and tell you anything. They got all kinds of problems. They tell you this and they tell you that. You'll come to find out most of the time they looking for love. Love will go a long way towards making you right with yourself. They looking for love and don't know what it is. If you tell them they still don't know, you got to show them how to find it for themselves. Mr. Citizen, I want you, Mr. Citizen, I want you to follow the Monongahela River, clear up the Blonocks. There's a man named Nicholson Grant. Ask anybody where you can find him. Nicholson Grant. Tell him Aunt Esther sent you. You be careful, Mr. Citizen. Don't forget Nicholson Grant. He's going to give you something. Then you take it and put it in your handkerchief with the 2 pennies and bring it straight back to me. Go on now.
Citizen exits. Aunt Esther lights a vigil candle and goes and sets it in the window.
What's the 2 pennies for? Why you gotta find 2 pennies?
That's only to give him something to do. He think there's power in them 2 pennies. He think when he find them, all his troubles will be over. But he need to think that before he can come face to face with himself. Ain't nothing special about them 2 pennies. Only thing special about him is he think they special. He find them 2 pennies, then he think he done something. But he ain't done nothing but find 2 pennies.
The mill's on fire. The mill is burning down. Grab Bill fire.
2. Scene 1. The lights come on up on Black Mary and SELIG in the kitchen the next morning. SELIG.
Well, that's all anybody talking about. They're talking about clear down Philadelphia. They say somebody started that fire at the mill. They say the colored is still mad over the man who jumped into the river. They're talking about keeping the colored out of Pennsylvania. Say, what do we need them for? One man say, well, they ought to send them back down south. I come on past the general store in Rankin, and they was talking about, well, why can't we have slavery again? One man said, because of law. Somebody else said, well, change the law. Man asked him, you want to fight another war? He said, hell yes. I was surprised when he said that, but then again, I wasn't too surprised. They're talking about bringing in the army if the police can't handle it.
How you doing, Mr. SELIG?
Well, I'm doing all right on this. I'm fixing to go back upriver. Everybody's talking about the fire at the mill.
Where's Eli?
Well, he's gone out to see if he can find out any more news.
It's a hard time for everybody, Mr. SELIG. I do believe the spirit is willing, but the people can't get their bodies to follow along with it. There's too much trouble. It's always been trouble, and it looked like it always will be. I ask myself why that is. I can't seem to come up with an answer.
Well, my mama say, trouble is man-made. Say if man didn't make trouble, it wouldn't have to follow you. She said, trouble will follow you to your grave.
Black Mary, where's your hospitality? You got a biscuit over there for Mr. SELIG? Give Mr. SELIG a biscuit. I know he likes his biscuits.
Black Mary gives SELIG a biscuit.
Well, I thank you, Black Mary.
It's still burning. They haven't put that fire out yet. Don't look like they can put it out either. They say somebody's seen who started it.
Yeah, that's all anybody's talking about. I just come up from seeing my girlfriend in Rankin. They're talking about it up there. Now, I didn't know somebody seen him. I don't know why somebody would burn down the mill. Where are the people going to work at now? It don't make much sense to me.
That was the biggest fire I ever seen. They had 5 wagons from Pittsburgh trying to put that fire out. And the wind didn't help none. The wind caught the flames and it was all over the sky. They had a bunch of fellas who got hurt trying to put out that fire.
Well, let me get on. I'll unload some more rocks out back for you, Eli. Hey, I see that wall's coming along.
Yeah, that boy's a good worker. We'll be finished in another, 2-3 days. Hey, thank you, SELIG.
I'm going back upriver tonight. I'm going to stop down and see my girlfriend in Scotch Bottom and then head back on upriver.
Not drinking, huh?
Thanks for the biscuit, Black Mary. On Esther, I'm going to try to stay out of trouble, but I don't think it's going to work.
Go on, you old buzzard. Take care of yourself now. You be careful out there.
SELIG exits. There's a knock on the door. Eli goes to answer it, and Citizen enters.
I got the 2 pennies. Aunt Esther said to come back then.
Come on in, Mr. Citizen.
I got the 2 pennies, Miss Tyler.
Come on, Mr. Citizen. Tell me about them pennies.
They was laying there, side by side. I picked them up. Somebody must have just lost them because they brand new. They still shining. I was looking for Jilson Grant. I never did find him. Nobody knows who he was.
Everybody knows Jilson Grant. You must not have been in Blarnox. Bet you only got as far as Clareton.
I walked around until I got tired. It started to rain. I found a bridge and went down under there until it stopped. I was coming up around near the bakery so I could stay, buy a loaf of bread. And I looked and I saw them 2 pennies lying there side by side. They still shining.
Citizen hands Aunt Esther the 2 pennies. Aunt Esther goes over and blows out the visual candle.
Black Mary, go get the map. I got something I want to show Mr. Citizen. Some people don't like adventure, Mr. Citizen. They stay home like me. I done seen all the adventure I want to see. I've been across the water. I seen both sides of it. I know about the water. The water has its secrets the way the land has its secrets. Some know about the land. Some know about the water. But there are some that know about the land and the water. They got both sides of it. Then you got the fire. That's a special one. It's got lots of secrets. Fire will heal and kill. It's tricky like that. I can talk about the land and I can talk about the fire, but I don't talk about the water. There was a time, Mr. Citizen, when God moved on the water, and sometimes he moves on the land. Is he moving now? We don't know. We can't all the time see it.
Blackberry enters with a quilt on which there is a map.
Now take a look at this map, Mr. Citizen. See that right there? That's a city. It's only a half mile by a half mile, but that's a city. It's made of bones, pearly white bones. All the buildings and everything is made of bones. I've seen it. I've been there, Mr. Citizen. My mother lives there. I got an aunt and 3 uncles live down there in that city made of bones. You want to go there, Mr. Citizen? I can take you there if you want to go. That's the center of the world, and time and all will come to light. The people made a kingdom out of nothing. They were the people that didn't make it across the water. They sat down right there. They say, let's make a kingdom. Let's make a city of bones. The people got a burning tongue, Mr. Citizen. Their mouths are on fire with song that water can't put out. That song is so powerful it rise up, come across the water. 10,000 tongues and 10,000 chariots coming across the water. They on their way, Mr. Citizen. They coming across the water. 10,000 hands and feet across the water. They on their way. I came across that ocean, Mr. Citizen. I cried. I had lost everything. Everything I had ever known in this life, I lost that. I cried an ocean of tears. Did you ever lose anything like that, Mr. Citizen? Were you so lost, the only thing that can guide you is the stars? That's all I had left. Everything I had ever known was gone to me. The only thing I had left was the stars. I said, well, I got something. I wanted to hold on to them, so I started naming them. I named them after my children. I said, there goes Cephas, and that's Jasper, and that's Cecilia, and that big one over there, that's Junebug. You ever look at the stars, Mr. Citizen? I bet you seen my Junebug and didn't even know it. You come by here sometime when the stars are out, and I'll show you my Junebug. You come by anytime you want. You got the stars, but it's that wind that drives the boat, Mr. Citizen. Without the wind, it would just sit there. But who drives the wind? What God drives the wind? That's what I asked myself, but I didn't have an answer. So I just started singing. Just singing quietly some song my mother had taught me. After that, it was all right for a little while. But the wind did drive the boat right across the water. What it was driving me to, I didn't know. That's what made it so hard, and I didn't have my mother to tell me. That made it harder.
During the previous speech, Aunt Esther has made a small boat from her document of a bill of sale. She shows the boat to Citizen.
You see that, Mr. Citizen? That's a boat. You're going to take a ride on that boat. Do you believe you can take a ride on that boat, Mr. Citizen?
This is a piece of paper.
That's not what you call your ordinary boat. Look at that boat. Mr. Citizen, that's a magic boat. There's a lot of power in that boat. Power is something It's hard to control, but it's hard to stand in the way of it. God sweep the stars aside, Mr. Citizen. He don't let nothing stand in his way. God don't know nothing but the truth. The boat can take you to that city, Mr. Citizen. Do you believe it can take you to that city?
I don't know. I don't know, Miss Tyler.
If you believe it can take you, God got room for everybody. I don't know if you ever seen him, but God wear all different kinds of clothes. He got all kinds of faces, and he got a sword. The Bible say it's a mean and terrible swift sword. And when he get to waving that sword around, he can do anything. I can take you to that city, but you gotta wanna go. Do you wanna go, Mr. Citizen? Do you wanna go get your soul washed?
I gotta get this thing off me. Miss Tyler? Yeah, I wanna go.
Listen to what I tell you. We're gonna go to the City of Bones tonight. But first, you got to get ready. Now, I want you to go take a bath. Get scrubbed real good. Then I want you to put on your best clothes and then go into your room and pray. Even if you don't know how to pray, I want you to try. Black Mary, heat up some water, Mr. Citizen, and go get things ready. I'm going to get myself ready. Do not disturb me.
The lights go down on the scene.
Well, I just about got everything ready. Citizen's upstairs. He says he's ready to go.
He found those 2 pennies quick. She thought he was going to be up there for another 2-3 days.
He never stopped talking about it. He's really anxious to get his soul washed.
He must have done something really bad to be that anxious.
Well, I don't know what he done. All I know is he's ready to go.
There's a knock on the door. Eli goes to answer it. Salah enters with his traveling bag.
Hey, Salah, come on in. Oh, it looks like you ready to make that trip.
Yeah, I gotta go get my sister. I just stopped by to say goodbye.
Anessa's in her room. She fixing to take Citizen Barlow to the City of Bones. She said don't disturb her until she gets ready.
Hey, Black Mary, how much I owe you for writing me that letter?
You don't owe me nothing.
No. You gotta take something. Cause I appreciate it. And I gotta show my appreciation.
Give me a dime then.
I thought you was gonna say a nickel.
Salah gives Black Mary a dime, and she exits upstairs.
I want you take it. This is your money. I went on up and saw Jefferson Culpepper. I told him I hope I see him when I get back.
How old is Culpepper?
He ain't but 72. I'm 67. He got 5 years on me. I told him he ain't eating right. He ain't eating right since his wife died.
Which way you going?
Well, I guess I'm gonna go on down West Virginia. I figured for morning to catch me so I can go through Wheeling. I thought I'd pick up some help on the road.
Yeah, you stay away from the cities. It'll be easier. You get down to Georgia, you can work your way over from there. Now, I'll stay away from Birmingham if I were you.
They probably got that all blocked off anyway. Hey, Citizen Barlow. So you going down to the City of Bones? I've been to the City of Bones. It's something like you ain't never seen. A whole city, half mile by half mile, made of bones. All kinds of bones. Leg bones, arm bones, head bones. It's a beautiful city. That's where I'm going when I die. I know where I'm going. It's got 12 gates, and it's got 12 gatekeepers. That's what I always wanted to be. A keeper of the gate.
After I found my 2 pennies, I come back past the mill, and it had burnt down. It still had smoke coming out of it.
Yeah, that's that tin. Most people don't know that tin burns. It will burn faster than paper. We learned that during the Civil War. It seems to happen. I've seen it happen.
I still owe the mill some money.
You ain't gotta worry about paying it.
Making the people owe. It's worse than slavery.
Ain't nothing worse than slavery. I know. I was there. Dark was the night and cold was the ground. Here, look at that. Look.
He hands Citizen a chain link.
Man, my chain. Look. That's my good luck piece. That piece of chain used to be around my ankle. They tried to chain me down, but I beat them with that one. I said, I'm gonna keep this to remember it by. I've been lucky ever since. I beat them a lot of things. I beat them when I got away. I had some people to help me. They helped show me the way, and they looked out for me. I got all the way to Canada. There was 8 of us. I was in Canada in 1857. I stood right there in Freedom Land. That's what they call it, Freedom Land. I asked myself, what am I gonna do? I looked around, I didn't see nothing for me. I tried to feel different, but I couldn't. I started crying. And I ain't cried since my daddy knocked me down for crying when I was 10 years old. I breathed in real deep and just tasted the air, and it didn't taste no different. The man what brought me over the border tried to talk with me, but I just sat right on down on the ground and I started crying. I told him, say, I don't feel right. It didn't feel right being in Freedom Land and my mama and all the other people still in bondage. Told him, I'm going back with you. I stopped crying as soon as I said that. I joined the Underground Railroad. Look at that. See, that's 62 notches. 62. That's a notch for every person that I helped get to freedom. Abraham Lincoln came along and changed all that. Him and General Grant. I never did join the Union Army, but I showed them where to go. I know all the routes. But me and Eli, we worked together many a time.
You need to know the routes. If you want to get up to Canada, it wasn't easy. All right. We down in the swamps, and then we hear a call. Whoop! 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 Yeah.
Sound like an owl.
3 times. Whoop! Whoop! Whoop!
Then you know we had to go through.
Sometimes we hear the dogs right behind them. We make contact and get the runaways from the other conductor. See, he just passed them on. Otherwise, if he didn't hook up with us, he got to go out of his section. He got to carry them further. Maybe he don't even know the woods as much as he would, but his own section. See, that made it slower. And all the times the dog's after you. All the time. You got to keep going.
I was what they call the drag man. I'd guard the rear. You had to fight a lot of times. I done been bit 9 times by dogs. Look here. See that? A dog tried to tear my leg off one time. I got a big old part of my arm missing, tore out the muscle, everything. He was going for my throat. I told myself I was lucky. If it wasn't for one good thing, I found that pure. Otherwise, I'd had to kill every dog I ever seen.
All right. He hooked up with us and passed them off, and for the next 200 miles, they're ours. It's just go on like that till we get into freedom.
Till you're in Canada. You can't stay in the north. If you stay in the north, you're subject to end up right back down south into slavery. With half a foot and waving one arm.
That's the way it went for many, many times. You got to leave the country to get freedom. You got to go up to Canada.
Eli gets a bottle of whiskey.
They got civilized people up there. I seen them. White as cotton. Got smiles on their faces. Shake your hand and say welcome. Don't never let nobody tell you they ain't got no good white people. They got some good white people down here, but they gotta fight the law. In Canada, they ain't gotta fight the law. Down here, it's a war.
It's a war, and you're always on the battlefield.
And the battlefield's bloody. The field of battle's always bloody. Can't be no other way.
The only thing you don't want is to end up a corpse. You don't want it to be your blood.
Ain't no sense in getting mad because it's rough out here. It's supposed to be rough. You ain't supposed to complain when you see some blood. Because I found out you could bleed and you didn't have to die. I said, this is too good to be true. Since then, I ain't never been afraid of losing a little blood. I said, they're gonna have to kill me. I can give up some blood all day long if it keep coming back. Your blood is like the river. It don't never stop till you dead. Life's got lots of comeback, but death ain't got no comeback. That's the only way life had any meaning. Otherwise, don't nothing count.
Come on, you get yourself a drink here. A man going to the bone deserves a drink.
That boy too young to drink whiskey. You gotta give it to him in a teaspoon.
I drinks whiskey.
Eli pours each one a drink of whiskey. Salah raises his glass in a toast.
So live, that when thy summons come to join the innumerable caravan which moves to the mysterious realm, where each shall take his chamber in the silent halls of death, thou go not, like the quarry slave at night, scourged by his dungeon, but sustained and soothed by his unfaltering trust. Approach thy grave like one that wraps the drapery of his coffin about him, and lies down to pleasant dreams. That was W.C. Bryant. I learned that poem when I was 14 years old.
There go not like the quarry slave at night, scourged to the dungeon, but sustained and soothed by the unflattering trust. Approach thy grave like that wrap thy dreary of his cough about him, and lie down to the pleasant dream. You die by how you live.
They never made emancipation what they said it was. People say Jesus turned the water into wine. What they look like telling him it was the wrong kind? Hell, maybe it was the wrong kind. If you're gonna do it right. They wave the law in one hand, on one end, and hit you in the belly with the billy club on the other. I told myself, I can't just sit around and collect dog shit while the people be drowning. The people drowning in sorrow and grief. That's a mighty big ocean. They got the law to tie around their toe. Every time they try to swim, the law pull them down under. It's dangerous out there. People walking around hunting each other. If you ain't careful, you can lose your eyes or your arm. I seen that. I seen a man grab hold of a fella and cut his arm clean off. Cut it off at the shoulder. He had to work at it for a while, but he cut it clean off. The man looked down, saw his arm was gone, and started crying. After that, he was more dangerous than that one man with the other arm, than any man with two arms. You know why? Because he got less to lose. There's a lot of one-armed men walking around.
That's what Caesar don't understand, see? He can't see that the people ain't got nothing to lose.
The trouble with Caesar is he think the people dumb. He even think I'm dumb. The last person that thought that is walking around with one eye and half an ear. My mother used to say, if you want to teach an old dog new tricks, you need twice as many bones. Well, I got a pocket full of bones. I give them sugar for sugar That's salt for salt.
And if you can't get along with me, it's your own
Own damn fault.
They fought the Civil War over that law and still ain't got it right.
You know about the Civil War? That was white people fighting and killing each other like you ain't never seen. I don't even think they can imagine that. White folks fighting each other over the Union.
They ain't got over it yet. They still fighting. They still mad at each other.
I don't know what the Union was until I saw them soldiers. They had on uniforms and say they was Union soldiers, and they asked if I could help.
We knew every swamp hole. We knew all the back ways. We knew how to connect them up.
They say they needed that. Say that the colored man got a right to life. Say they was fighting against slavery. I asked them, what took you so long? My daddy fought against slavery all his life. They say, well, we got guns. I turned and looked, and they had great big old cannons. That's when I knew a whole lot of people was gonna die when I looked and saw them their cannons. They was real serious about it. I knew all them guns wasn't on account of me. I figured they was fighting for themselves. And if that would help them, that would help us.
Well, they never said it was going to help, it was going to help us. They say the war was going to help us. After that, it's every man for himself.
I told them, you get what's in it for you, and I'll get what's in it for me. You get yours and I'll get mine, and we'll sell the difference later. We still selling.
I see Salah out here making all that noise. What you doing making all that noise? What you doing here?
I come to say goodbye. I'm on my way back down to Alabama.
Mr. Citizen is going to the City of Bones. He's going to need some help on the boat. Come on and help take Mr. Citizen to the City of Bones before you go.
My sister can't wait. I gotta go down there now.
I know you want to help your sister, but I know you ain't going to leave Mr. Citizen to fend for himself. That's not the Sally Two Kings I know.
All right, but I gotta get on. I plan to be in Wheeling, West Virginia by morning.
Eli, put on the nightlight. Where's Black Mary? Get Black Mary. Come on, Mr. Citizen.
Aunt Esther hands him back the pennies.
You hold on to them pennies. Mr. Citizen, you gonna need them. Jilson Grant was supposed to give you a piece of iron. You ain't got that. You got to go without it. That iron would have made you strong. That's what Samson had. His strength wasn't in his hair. He had a piece of iron that made him strong of heart, and God found favor with him. You got to see if God will find favor with you without that iron.
Solly hands Citizen his good luck chain.
Here, put this piece of chain in your pocket. Now you got you some iron. Jilson Grant, he ain't the only one got iron. That chain link brought me good luck many a time. Go on now, put it in your pocket.
Black Mary enters from upstairs with the European masks.
You ready, Mr. Citizen?
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Jeff? Oh, maybe it's... Aunt Esther hands him a paper boat made from the bill of sale.
You're gonna take a ride on that boat. Come on, Black Mary. Sally, Eli, Mr. Citizen is going to the City of Bones. They're gonna help us, Mr. Citizen. You can't never have enough help on the boat. Whatever happened, You hold on to that boat. You hold on to that boat and everything will be all right. Oh, what a day.
To go to the city of the bone.
Oh, what a day.
Go to the city of the bone.
We're going to the city.
Going to the city of the bone.
Oh, what a beautiful city, Mr. Citizen. It's a city like you ain't never seen. All the palaces are glittering with the light of the sun. Oh, what a day.
Going to the city of the bones.
You ever seen a boat, Mr. City? You ever seen a boat, Mr. Citizen? A boat is made out of a lot of things. Wood and rope. The sails look like bed sheets blowing in the wind. They make a snap when the winds catch them. Wood and rope and iron. The workmen with their hammers ringing. A boat is something. It takes a lot of men to make a boat, and it takes a lot of men to sail a boat. Them was some brave men. They left their family and didn't know if they were ever going to see them again. They got on that boat and they went out into the world. The world's a dangerous place, Mr. Citizen. It's got all kinds of harms in it. It takes God to master the world. The world is a rough place, but there's gold out there in the world. There's good luck out there in the world. Them brave men went looking for it. Remember I told you could take a ride on that boat? The wind catch up in them sails and you be off across the ocean. The wind will take you every which way. You need a strong arm to steer that boat. Don't you feel it, Mr. Citizen? Don't you feel that boat rocking? Just a rocking and a rocking. The wind blowing.
You gotta watch out for the north wind.
The north wind. The north wind got a mind of its own.
Can't reason with it.
The best you can do is try to outrun it. What you say, Black Mary?
It's like Satan. He's gonna have his way with you.
You gotta figure out what to do.
Just a rocking and a rocking. The wind blowing and the birds following behind that boat. They follow wherever it go. What is they following, Mr. Citizen? The wind snapping them sails and the birds following. The birds following and singing and the fish swimming and the wind blowing.
It's moving. The boat's moving. I feel it moving. The land is moving away.
Do you see the sky?
I see the sky.
What color is it?
It's blue color up there. But farther along is gray.
That blue color is the skylight. That gray means trouble. That gray ain't supposed to be there. You hold on to that boat, Mr. Citizen. Whatever happened, don't drop the boat. You hold on to that boat and everything will be all right. Do you see any stairs? If you see some stairs, we can go down in the bottom. I've been down in the bottom. Look and see if you see some stairs and we can go down in the bottom of the boat. If it rock too much, we got to be careful.
I see the stairs.
Come on, Mr. Citizen. Let's go down to the bottom of the boat. Be careful you don't fall.
It's dark down there.
I got a home in the graveyard.
Remember me.
Going down to the graveyard.
Remember me.
Going down to the graveyard.
Remember me. Remember
Home in
me.
the graveyard.
Remember me.
Going down to
I hear people talking.
Remember.
What they saying, Mr. Citizen? Do you know what they're saying?
It sounds like they singing.
What they saying?
They saying, remember me. Chain to the boat. Chain me to the boat. Somebody help me.
What about the people? Where are the people?
Don't see no people.
Look close. Do you see any people? Look real close now.
I see the people. Chain to the boat.
Them people you see got some powerful gods, Mr. Citizen, but they ain't on the boat with them. They don't know to call him on their own. God don't answer to no one man. God answer to all the people. They need all the people. Them people you see is without God. When we get to the City of Bones, I'm going to show you what happened when all the people call on God with one voice. God got beautiful splendors.
They all look like me. They all got my face.
Breathe deep. Take a deep breath. Look at me. Citizen, look at me. It's Black Mary. Do you remember me? Take my hand. It's me, Black Mary.
The people, they chained to the boat.
Look at me, citizen.
Where am I?
You on the boat, Mr. Citizen. You going to the City of Bones.
No! No!
Citizen throws down the boat. Immediately a storm comes up.
Your boat. You throw away your boat. Get your boat, Mr. Citizen.
You can't get to the City of Bones without your boat, Mr. Citizen.
Get the boat.
You can't go without your boat.
Citizen struggles against the storm to reach the boat. Masked Salah and masked Eli seize him before he reaches it. They symbolically brand and symbolically whip Citizen, then throw him into the hull of the boat. The hatch slams shut. Citizen finds himself alone.
Stars. Where are the stars? We are marching to the light of God. We are marching to the light of God. We are marching to the light of God. Water. I'm thirsty. I need some water.
There is no water, Mr. Citizen. All you have is your chain link. The boat got into trouble. The water was lost overboard. The captain took what was left and set out in a small boat. He was a mean man. He was a selfish man. The captain of the gem of the ocean. He took all the water and left the crew to die. But they survived. They followed the law of the sea. Life is above all. God raised it to a great height. Live, Mr. Citizen, live to the fullest. You got a duty to live. So live, Mr. Citizen, live.
Have you heard about the city? The beautiful, beautiful city. Have you heard about the city? The
Beautiful, beautiful city. Have you heard about the city? The beautiful, beautiful city. And there's 12 gates to the city. Hallelujah.
Where there's 3 gates to the east.
Yeah. 3 gates to the west.
And there's
3 gates to the north.
and
3 gates to the south. And there's 12 gates to the city. Hallelujah.
There it is. It's made of bones. All the buildings and everything. Head bones, leg bones, and rib bones. The streets look like silver. The trees are made of bones. The trees and everything made of bones.
Do you see the people with their tongue on fire?
I don't see no people.
Do you see the gate, Mr. Citizen?
I see the gate. I see the gate.
there are 12 gates, Mr. Citizen.
And 12 gatekeepers. You gotta go through the gatekeepers to get into the city.
There are 12 ways to get into the city, Mr. Citizen. Do you have your 2 pennies? Where are your 2 pennies? If you have your 2 pennies, you can go into that city. If you go into the city, you can see my mother and all the people with their tongues on fire, all glittering and dressed in their splendors. It's a sight like you ain't never seen.
I got my 2 pennies.
Then you got to pay the gatekeeper your passage, and he'll let you in the city. Do you see the gatekeeper, Mr. Citizen?
Yeah, I see him.
Sully steps before Citizen. wearing the City of the Bones mask and holding his stick.
You got to tell him your name so he can write it down in a book. Then you got to pay your passage.
Citizen Barlow, I got my 2 pennies.
Masked Salah holds out his stick and won't let Citizen pass.
Won't let me pass.
Who is the gatekeeper, Mr. Citizen? Is it somebody you know?
Citizen recoils in horror. He is dumbstruck. He tries to speak, but no words come out of his mouth.
What is it, Mr. Citizen? What do you see?
The gatekeeper. The gatekeeper. It's Garrett Brown, the man who jumped in the river.
You got to tell him, Mr. Citizen. The truth has to stand in the light. You got to get your soul washed.
How come you didn't come out the water? You were supposed to come out the water.
You got to tell him, Mr. Citizen, otherwise you'll never be right with yourself. Peter denied Christ 3 times. You might not get lucky like Peter to have 3 chances. You got to tell him now.
It was me. I done it. My name is Citizen Barlow. I stole the bucket of nails.
Salah lets him pass.
The gate's opening.
Overwhelmed by the sheer beauty of the city and the people with their tongues on fire, Citizen Barlow, now reborn as a man of the people, sits down and begins to cry. Salah removes his mask. The journey is over. Black Mary comes over and wipes Citizen's brow. She unbuttons his shirt and begins to wipe his chest.
Where am I?
You in Aunt Esther's house. It's okay.
Seen the city. I was on the boat. There was people on that boat.
It's okay now. You made it back. Everything's gonna be all right.
You made it back.
Back from the city of bones.
You made it back.
Back from the city of the bones.
You made it back.
Back from the city of the bones. Back from the city of the bones. Back from the city of the
There is a loud knock on the door, which shatters the mood of celebration. Aunt Esther motions for Eli to answer it. Eli answers the door, and Caesar enters.
This is a peaceful house.
Hey, Eli, I see Salah here. Salah, you didn't know somebody seen you when you set the fire to the mill. You didn't know that, did you? You thought you was gonna get away with it. But you can't get away with nothing like that. You are under arrest.
I'm under God's sky, motherfucker. That's what I'm under.
Salah whacks Caesar on the knee with his stick. Caesar grabs his leg and falls down. Salah runs out the door, and Caesar gets up and hobbles to the door.
I'm gonna catch him. I'm gonna catch him if I have to chase him clean up into Canada. Busted me in my goddamn knee. You can't get away with that. Now, I got to get my justice.
And the lights go down on the scene.
You believe Salah burned down the mill?
Well, it don't make no difference. If Caesar catches him, he's gonna kill him. That's what he's talking about, his justice. He'll kill him and won't even think nothing of it. He got a streak in him like that. If you capture him alive, you're gonna bring him in dead. And ain't nothing I can do about it. Ain't nothing nobody can do about it.
I don't believe he can catch him. Because he don't know where he's going. Salah used to running. He probably halfway to Alabama by now. I wouldn't worry about Salah if I was you. Salah can take care of himself. We are talking about Sully 2 Kings.
Yeah, well, we talked about Caesar Wilkes too. And I ain't never known him to give up on nothing. Once he got it fixed in his mind to do something, he don't let nothing stop him.
There's a pause. A citizen takes in the woman before him.
You got on that blue dress. met this girl at a dance one time. She had on a blue dress, just like yours. She had on a blue dress and she had her hair slicked back. Her mouth made her face look pretty. She was dancing. She had tears in her eyes. I asked her why she was crying. She said she was lonesome. I told her I couldn't fix that, but if she wanted somebody to walk her home after the dance, I'd walk her home. See, she got home safe. She thanked me, and went on crying. You know what I'm saying? She felt better. And after the dance, I could walk her home since I was going that way. She had a good time dancing with some of the other men. I danced with her some more. She was smiling, but she had tears in her eyes. And after the dance, I walked her home. I seen at the dance that she had a nice way about her. She was walking home. She put my hand in mine, her hand in mine. She asked me, did I want to stay the night? I told her yes. I told her I was at the dance looking for a woman. She asked me why I didn't tell her. We could have saved each other some time. I woke up in the morning and she was laying there crying. I didn't ask her about it. I didn't try and stop her. I lay there for a while trying to figure out what to do. I ended up holding her in my arms. She started crying some more. I held her for a while and then I left. I said goodbye. Started walking away. She was standing in the door. I looked back at her and she was standing so she fit right in the middle of the door. I couldn't see if she was crying. She kind of waved at me. I got a little further on and turned back and looked, and she was still there. Looked like she had got smaller. She might have sat down in the doorway. That's what it looked like to me. I could still see her standing there. Had a green door, and I could see her standing in it. I don't know what happened to her. I like to look on her face again. Just don't know what she was all right. And if she stopped crying, if I could see her face, I believe that would be enough.
Well, maybe you'll get the chance. What you gonna tell her if you see her again?
I don't know. Sometimes I lay awake at night when I be lonely and ask myself, what would I say to her? Sometimes I tell her to stop crying, stop being lonely. I tell her something she's doing to herself. Then I'm laying there lonely too. And I have to ask myself, was it something I was doing to myself? I don't know. I ain't lonely now. I ain't got no woman. I still feel lonely. I feel all filled up inside. It's something I've done to myself. So maybe I did make myself lonely.
You gotta be right with yourself before you can be right with anybody else.
That's what I'll tell her. I believe she was looking for somebody else to make right with herself. That's why she was crying.
Mr. Citizen, listen to what I tell you now. Rutherford Selig should be heading down upriver by now. He'll go through Little Haiti and then he crossed over to the river to go to Scotch Bottom. Before he go to Hazelwood, you gotta catch him before he cross the river. He sells pots and pans. Look for a wagon by the river with pots and pans. That's Rutherford Selig. Tell him Aunt Esther needs him. Ask him to come right away. Then you come back with him. Be careful. If Caesar see you, he'll follow you. Hurry now, the time ain't long. If Rutherford Selig get across the river, you can't catch him. Ask him to come right away.
I'll catch him.
You look just like my Jew bug, you old rascal. You be careful. Go in prayer. Black Mary, fix up a plate of whatever you got and bring it in the room. Draw that shade. Bring me that plate and let me know when Selig comes. You got that stove too high. Damp that down. You done burnt down the place.
It's down already.
It's too hot. Damp it down. Take some of that wood off that fire.
Well, you need fire to cook with. How's the food's gonna get done?
Turn it down.
Here, look, you turn it down. I can't do everything the way you want me to. I'm not you. You act like there ain't no other way to do nothing. I got my own way of doing things, okay? I like the fire high. That's the way I cook. You like it down, that's the way you cook. But if you ain't cooking, you ain't got nothing to say. All you gotta worry about is eating.
I just say the fire is too high.
I've been here 3 years now, and I can't do nothing to satisfy you. I may as well lay down somewhere and just forget about it. You got something to say about everything. Turn the fire down, wash the greens in the other pot, shake the flour off the chicken, tuck in the corners of the sheets. That's too much starch. There ain't enough salt. I'm tired of it. Your way ain't always the best way. I got my own way, and that's the way I'm doing it. If I stay around here, I'm doing it my own way.
What took you so long?
Aunt Esther turns and exits into her room. Scene 4. The lights come up on Eli standing looking out the window. Black Mary's in the kitchen. Eli sees SELIG's wagon.
Here he come now.
Eli heads to the back door and opens it. Citizen and SELIG enter.
Come on in, Celia. Aunt Esther's waiting for you.
It's a good thing Citizen caught up with me. I got all the roads blocked off. They say they're looking for somebody who burned down the mill. They say they know who done it. They won't let anybody cross the river down the Scotch Bottom.
How you doing, Mr. SELIG? I thank you for coming. I need you to do me a favor. God is a good worker, and he works all kinds of ways in the world. The Bible said he rewards those who do just works. I need you to do me a favor. Caesar might catch you, and if he catch you, I can't say what the matter will be.
Well, I ain't never known you to be on the wrong side of anything. I ain't scared of Caesar.
I need you to carry Salah downriver. Caesar is looking for him. Say he burnt down the mill. I don't know whether he did it or not. Sometimes them ain't the right questions.
Solly enters from Aunt Esther's room.
Yeah, I burned it down. The people might get mad, but freedom come at a high price. You gotta pay. No matter what it costs, you gotta pay. I didn't mind settling the difference after the war, but I didn't know that it was gonna settle like this. I got older. I see where I'm gonna die, and everything gonna be the same. I said, well, at least, goddammit, they gonna know I was here. The people gonna know about Solid 2 Kings.
I got my wagon out back.
If Caesar catches you, he'll kill you. You know that?
He gonna have to catch me first.
I'll go with you. You're gonna have to catch the both of us.
You on the battlefield now.
You belong to the band.
I'm gonna try and get to Alabama. I don't know what's gonna happen. If you get me, I want you to come down and find me and say a little prayer for me. You got some powerful prayer. You special, Esther. I always think of you that way. You don't have to bring me no flowers. Just come and say a prayer for me.
You pretty special yourself, Solid 2 Kings, you old rascal, you.
Aunt Esther kisses Solly on the cheek. Citizen looks at
Black Mary.
Citizen looks at Black Mary.
Black Mary, is you right with yourself? Because if you is, I believe when I come back from Alabama, I'll come see you. If I was still right with myself, then we can be right with each other.
You can stop on by, Mr. Citizen. You stop on by anytime.
Citizen gives her a strong embrace.
And you be careful now. It's a big world out there, and there's lots of harms in it. May God bless you everywhere you go.
Caesar's coming. He's coming down the street.
Solly at the back door turns to Aunt Esther for a quick embrace. Aunt Esther pushes him out the back door.
Go!
Solly exits. Aunt Esther takes Citizen's hands and pushes him out the back door.
Go in peace. May God bless you.
Citizen exits. There's a knock on the front door. SELIG takes a seat at the table. Eli answers the door, and Caesar enters.
Now this is a peaceful house, Caesar. It's right there on the door, 1839 Wally.
I come in peace, Eli, but I come in the name of the law. The law's got certain rights. That's what keeps the peace. Without that, you have run amok. Hey, SELIG.
How you doing, Caesar? Black Mary, I'll have that 14-inch frying pan for you next week.
All right, well, bring me a dustpan too. I need a new dustpan.
On Esther, I'll see you the next time. I got to go.
You take care, Mr. SELIG. May God bless you and keep you in the palm of his hand.
If you're going down river, you got to cross at Bladder. All the other roads are closed.
Okay. Thank you, Caesar.
Sit on down there, Mr. Caesar. I'm getting so I can hardly move no more. I don't know what it is. My joints don't move right. If this keep up, I'm going to have to send for the doctor.
Aunt Esther, I've got a warrant here.
I see you got a piece of paper. I got a piece of paper too. Black Mary, get my piece of paper over there. Sit on down there, Mr. Caesar. I want to show you something. Give that to Mr. Caesar and let him take a look at it. Tell me how much that piece of paper's worth, Mr. Caesar.
Know all ye men by these present that I, William Ogburn of the county of Guilford, state of North Carolina, have this day sold and delivered to Isaac Thatcher, a Negro slave girl named Esther, 12 years, 5 months old, for the sum of $607, the right and title to said girl. I warrant and defend now and forever to be sound and healthy. This is a bill of sale.
It say on there, Esther. That's a bill of sale for Esther Tyler. That's me. Now you tell me how much it's worth, Mr. Caesar.
I wouldn't give you 10 cents for it.
Then how much you think your paper is worth? You see, Mr. Caesar, you can put the law on the paper, but that don't make it right. That piece of paper say I was property. Say anybody could buy or sell me. The law said I needed a piece of paper to say I was a free woman. But I didn't need no piece of paper to tell me that. Do you need a piece of paper, Mr. Caesar?
Now listen, these ain't slavery times no more, Miss Tyler. You living in the past. All that's done changed. The law done changed, and I am a custodian of the law. Now, you know, Miss Tyler, you got to have rules and regulations. Otherwise, that'd be total chaos. Nobody wants to live in chaos. Now, I got a warrant.
This is a house of sanctuary. It's been a sanctuary for a long time, and you know that. Everybody know that. This is 1839 Wiley Avenue.
I don't know nothing about no sanctuary. Somebody break the law, and I got to arrest them. Don't care where they at. 1839 Wiley Street ain't no different than any other house.
1839 Wiley Avenue is a house of sanctuary, and it ain't up to you to decide. The Bible say, a place of refuge shall be given unto you, and whosoever seeketh counsel therein shall he be made also deem. For I have given unto the master of that abode a place above the law. For the law is a punisher of men, and I seeketh their redemption.
I got my Bible right here. Now, the Penal Code of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, Section 14, number 7409, aiding and abetting. Now, Alfred Jackson is a fugitive from the law, and anybody harboring him is aiding and abetting. They breaking the law. Now, I'm trying to be nice about this. I got a warrant here, and it's signed by Judge Homer S. Brown, duly elected official on the laws of the Commonwealth of the state of Pennsylvania. Just trying to do my job.
You think you a strong man, Mr. Caesar, but you got that gun. That tell me all I need to know. I see that gun and I know the truth. A man will come and stand and look at the stars. That gun can't take that away from him. You can shoot him, but sooner or later somebody gonna come and stand in the same spot. He's gonna come and stand and count the stars. Black Mary, put that pot on and bring Mr. Caesar some tea.
Hey, now listen, I ain't got no time for tea. I'm here to serve a warrant. I got a warrant here for the arrest of Esther Tyler for interfering with the administration of justice and aiding and abetting Alfred Jackson, a fugitive of the law. Now, them is serious crimes, Miss Tyler. You are under arrest.
You a scoundrel, Mr. Caesar. Black Mary, bring me my shawl.
Eli gets out the shotgun, cocks it, and points it at Caesar.
You don't need no shawl. Yeah, I told you when you came here, this is a peaceful house.
Now listen, see, you breaking the law right now. I'm gonna overlook that, Eli. Aunt Esther, I got a job to do.
It's all right, Eli.
Eli immediately uncocks the gun and drops it to his side.
Black Mary, bring me my shawl.
Black Mary brings Aunt Esther her shawl. Aunt Esther ties a scarf around her head and goes and stands by the door.
I'm ready, Mr. Caesar.
I'm just doing my job, Eli. The people wouldn't have it any other way.
Caesar takes Aunt Esther by the arm and they exit. And the lights go down on the scene. Scene 5. The lights come up on Black Mary. Eli and Aunt Esther enter. Aunt Esther, without saying a word, goes to her room. Black Mary looks at Eli questioningly.
She tired. You'd be tired too if you went through what she'd been through.
Well, how much was the bond?
$100.
When does she have to go to court?
Judge said she gotta be back down there next Monday.
Well, I kept the food warm. You hungry? You want something to eat?
I ain't hungry.
Well, I'm going to see if Aunt Esther wants anything.
Black Mary exits into Aunt Esther's room. Eli, tired, sits in the chair and closes his eyes. There's a sound from upstairs. Eli is startled. He goes and gets his shotgun and waits beside the stairs, out of view from any intruder, his gun pointed. Citizen enters from the stairs on his way to the back door.
Salah been shot by Caesar. I seen SELIG all around back.
Salah been shot?
Eli starts to exit out the back door. Citizen and SELIG, supporting Sully on each side, bring him into the house. Sully collapses on the floor. He slips in and out of consciousness and occasionally mutters,
Salah! Salah!
Okay, so Caesar shot Salah.
Put him on the table, Eli. See if you can get him up on the table. Black Mary, put on some water and get them clean cloths out the cupboard.
Here's what help you.
Aunt Esther and Black Mary begin to work urgently, treating the wound, trying to stop the flow of blood. For Aunt Esther... Go ahead.
You would have to help too.
Hassan, he shot me. It's almost died.
Okay, SELIG.
We got through the roadblock without any trouble. We got all the way to West Virginia. Solly seen I had a can of kerosene in the wagon. He seen that kerosene and he told me to turn around and take him back to the jail.
Solly said he was going to get him another boat and some more men. I don't know what he meant by that, but the people there were arrested during the riot at the mill. He said he was gonna bust them out of jail. Said he didn't feel right being free, and the rest of the people in bondage.
Well, we never got as far as the jail. Caesar seen the wagon and started shooting.
He saw Salah in the chest.
Salah been shot, dubbed, bit by dogs, chained, whipped, knocked down, and still raised more hell than any two men I know.
Got his chain link. He said he used that for good luck. I keep thinking if he had it, everything would have turned out all right.
I know Salah. He ain't gonna die before his time. And I don't believe it's his time.
Now is a needy time. Now is a needy time.
Yes, yes, yes. Oh, now is the needed time. Now is the needed time. Oh, Lord, won't you come by here? Now is the needed time. Oh, now is the needed time.
They break off their singing individually as they realize that Salah has passed away. There is a moment of silence and recognition. Aunt Esther breaks the silence.
Black Mary, go get the cloth. Mr. Citizen, you still got your 2 pennies? Sally's gonna need them to pay his passage.
Citizen steps forward, takes his 2 pennies and places them in Sally's hand. He closes it and lays Sally's hand on his chest. Black Mary enters with a ceremonial shawl and helps Aunt Esther place it around her shoulders. SELIG begins a procession, then approaches the body. Paying his respects, he takes off his hat. Black Mary follows and kisses Salah on the cheek. Eli pays his respects and then delivers the eulogy.
Hey, lay him low. Put him in the cold ground. David and Solomon, 2 kings of the cold ground. Solomon never did find his freedom. He always believed he was going to find it. The battlefield was always bloody. Blood here, blood there, blood all over yonder. Everybody's bleeding, everybody's been cut, and most of them don't even know it. But they bleed just the same. It's all you can do sometimes, just to stand up. Salah stood up and walked. He lived the truth and he died the truth. He died on the battlefield. You live right, you die right.
There is a loud rapping at the door. Eli pushes Citizen towards Aunt Esther's room. After Citizen is hid, Eli goes and answers the door, and Caesar enters. He has come to arrest Citizen. Caesar takes in the scene.
Where's that Barlow fella?
Well, that other fella? Well, he ran off. I believe he was going to Philadelphia.
Seeley, I see where they hijacked your wagon. I'm gonna need to take a statement from you. Now you told me you was going down river, but when I seen your wagon, I knew something was wrong. Now don't worry, I'm gonna get that Barlow fella too. He can't get that far. We got all the hospitals on the lookout. We got all the roads blocked. And if he tries to go down river, we got him. If he tries to go up river, we got him.
Caesar goes over and looks at Salah.
Now, he thought he was gonna get away with it. You can't get away with nothing like that. You know what I say? I say, good riddance.
Caesar, I gave you everything. Even when I didn't have to give to you, I made every way for you. I turned my eyes away. I figured if I didn't see, I couldn't hold fault. If I held fault, I couldn't hold on to my love for you. But now you're staring into the light, and I can't turn away no more. I remember when you was on the other side of the law, and that's my brother. The one selling hoe cakes off the back of the wagon, the one that helped Miss Robinson and the kids when nobody else would. That's my brother. The one who used to get out of bed and take me to school. The one who believed everybody had the same right to life. The same right to whatever there was in life they could find useful. That's my brother. And I don't know who you are, but you're not my brother. You hear me, Caesar? You are not my brother.
Caesar is stunned by this declaration. He crosses to the door, turns and looks back at Black Mary, then raises himself to his full height and exits.
Come on, let's go to the burying ground. Come on, let's go to the burying ground. Come on, let's go to the burying ground. Come on,
The hammer keeps a ringing.
on somebody's coffin.
Yes, the hammer keeps a ringing.
On somebody's coffin, over on a new burying ground.
Citizen takes off his coat. He puts on Sally's coat and hat, and he takes Sally's stick. He discovers the letter from Sally's sister in the hat. Eli pours a drink and raises it in a toast.
So, live!
Without a word, Citizen turns and exits. The lights go down on the scene. End of play.